you can start with Nick or Miss Chen. Then later on, I will ask Alvin, maybe you can give some suggestion on that. From DU, who would like to help to answer that?
Okay, so I think I can answer. So I think at first you need to know what is your needs first. So what you want to achieve. This is the first thing. Then secondly, of course, you need some internal person to start the project. So for example, in our case, our production is very unique. So that's why I need customizations in my system. That's why when I trying to find my supplier and service provider that time, I only meet less than 5 service provider, to be honest, because most of them in the market, they provide standard solutions which can't meet my requirement. So that's why I found Alvin, that he can customize our process. And to be honest, until now, we still doing the fine-tuning of our process over the time. So because yeah, things will change, and also we need to fine-tune our process so that we can achieve what we want, because you don't know what you want when if you don't start. So when you start, you will know what you want. So this is my will.
Okay. Alvin, you want to add on to that? Your recommendation. Objective recommendation, not to your advantage. Yeah.
No, I think I'm trying to remember, because we've been working with you Fiber for a long time already. So I'm just trying to remember what happened last time. But I think the simple truth is it takes 2 hands to clap. Because even for us as a solution provider, we see good customers and we see not so good customers, and there are some customers, you know, I don't even need to talk. So for me, I think it's same for Ms. Chang and Nick, is we really have to get to know each other. So for us, of course, we have to present what our service is. For them, they have to be very clear of what they want, so that I can tell them I can do the job or cannot. If they give me a requirement that I cannot do, then I'll say thank you very much. You know, we go, you know, yum cha, that's it. Then so in terms of finding a vendor, there are so many vendors in the market, but I think just getting to know your vendor is a starting point, and be very transparent. I think this is something that SME needs to learn. Just be as transparent as possible, so that you can speed up the process. And of course, it was very fortunate for me to meet DU Fiber, and it made and it's still one of the few projects I always remember, because they've done their homework before they came to me, so it was a lot easier. But the work isn't any easier when we started work, because there were a lot of discussion on how to fine-tune, which is the third point I made just now. It was a continuous process. Every 2 months we'll meet up and say, okay, this is not going to work, we have to try something. So a lot of discussion. There was a lot of discussion. So it was very mutual. I remember it was very mutual. So it was easier to proceed. Yeah. Nick,
the thing is that when both you and Miss Chen explain about your project, I can see that while you implementing the Industry 4 is very much in terms of that it is part of your business strategy to expand and to grow. Now, it's very fortunate that you have a great team that is able to do that planning. But some of the SMEs, maybe the smaller SMEs, they might not know. We need to do planning, but in the first case is that what to plan. Okay, these are the things, you see, that what to plan. So what would be your maybe recommendation, or 3 or 4 things that you would need to do before that you would invite any solution provider to come in to partner with you on the journey?
All right, first thing, ask your boss what they are not happy with the management. Like Ms. Chen said, technology, they don't help you to earn money. No, they can't just tell you where to get money, but they solve your problems. they solve your problems. But to solve problem, you need to know what are your problems. Yeah, so this is the first thing. What are your problems? What problems you want to solve? Okay, is it inventory issues? Is that data lagging problem, or is that communication issues, or wastage issues, or your warehouse manager, they couldn't give you a very accurate updates on the stock level, or your purchasing issues, your paperwork issues. So I believe every company, you have your own very strong point, and you have your own weaknesses. So find out your weaknesses, and if you want to solve them, this is very important. All right. And then some other areas, no one is ready for transform. No, everyone need to transform, because things keep changing, technology updates every day. Yeah, that's why even with our cooperation with SmartBee, right, whenever we have a new product or new formula or new ways of doing things, we need to tweak. We need to tweak. Yes, the whole basic structure is there. You need to build that base, and then you fine tune. You fine tune. Yeah, that's very important as well. So, question was advices, okay, problems, and budgets. Okay, when we are talking about budgets, this is very important. Sorry, I'm just trying to be practical. Okay, so
Please, practical. You have to be, because that will be the next question that I will ask you, the budget.
you dream big, but you start small. All right. There's no magic tools that, hey, come on, vendor A, give me this solution. By next week, everything will be solved. No. Solving problems, you need the right tool, right person, and there's a learning curve, all right? And the learning curve really depending on the complexity of your problem and how much resources you pour into it. So why does it relate with budget? So of course, we are Chinese, right? I mean, sorry, I am Chinese. We like to have the biggest payout with the smallest investment. Yes, you can do it with technology. You can do it, but then you need to do it right. You dream big, you start small. When you started, after you started, then you can see the cost savings and the advantages technology can bring to you. All right. Again, it wouldn't solve everything over the night, but you can start to see the advantages that technology might bring to you. This is very important. Dream big, start small, with your budget. Okay. There's a lot of packages over the market, like starting from I think you have some from 1,000 to maybe 500K or even 2 million on SAP or Oracle, right? Do you really need that? No. Manufacturers, do we really need a full suite ERP? No. Do we really need a super handsome, good looking system? Not really. It really depends on your problem. All right. That's why you don't really need to put in a lot of budget. No, because this thing, right? We call it a journey. All right. You just spend depending on your milestone. All right. Don't go all in like wanting to solve everything with this thing. To be honest, it's not possible. All right.
Okay, great. Well, I do not know small is how small, big is how big, but I believe that most of the manufacturers would already know that the government under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, implemented by the agency which is the MIDA, they have this one grant which is called Industry Forward Intervention Fund, which offers the SMEs up to it's 70-30. 70% will be funded by the government, and 30% will be from your own pocket for the whole project, up to the amount of the 500,000. I strongly believe it is actually more than enough for you to kickstart your first Industry 4 projects. Because as Nick mentioned, start small, dream big. Okay, start small, dream big. That would be more practical, because when you embark into the journey, there are many different kind of things that you want to tackle using Industry 4. But some of them you want to prioritize that they will affect your business more. You want to focus on it. Some of them that you are not, then you don't do it. Do that so much. Then those that give you ROI, you invest more on it. So these are the things that is going on most of the time. Now, the thing is that I want to ask, because the SMEs right now, when more and more people knows about Industry 4 and there are government giving grants and so forth, a lot of the SMEs has been being approached by a lot of the solutions provider. Okay, some comes with, hey, you must do ERP, hey, you must do OEE, you must do MES, you must do WMS, whatever jargons are there. So I don't know much of it. I'm actually specialized on the branding and marketing and SME development. So I'm still learning about that. But there are so many different kind of solutions. Then the question will be that when this solution provider come to me, is that the solutions that I really need? Is that the solutions that really relevant to me? I wouldn't know. And normally I will just listen to the solution provider lor. If I don't have the knowledge, I'll listen to them. So is there any way, this one I want to ask Miss Chen, okay? I know that you mentioned that the customization is what you need, but if putting yourself into the shoes of the general SMEs that you do not really know what you should use, what technique should you use, what would be your ways of evaluating whether I should see all the solution provider or what should I do? Maybe you can have your recommendation.
Okay, so actually for me, most of the time when I meet my service provider, I'm the one who tell them what I want. So I don't really need to listen to them what they provide, because I know what I want. So I think this is very important. Really, you need to know what you want, and you need to understand your own process so that you can work together with your service provider. Like how we choose SmartBee as our service provider, because they can do customization. This is what we want. So I can say the process in the digitalization that we are doing now is no one is doing. So no one will give you the solution if you don't know what you want. That's why yeah, you have something.
But a lot of SMEs okay, this is real scenario. A lot of SMEs over here is that actually I have been doing my business all along, and these 2 years suddenly this pops up, the Industry 4.0 thing always pops up everywhere. Then I might explore. Actually, I do not know that I need that also. So if everyone going to embark into Industry 4.0, I should also go for it. And right now they got grant, I should go for it. But again, frankly, many still doesn't know what they want. So how do you tackle that? How do you take? I really do not know what they want. I really don't know what's my problem.
Okay, so in this case, if you really don't know what you want, then maybe you can meet more service provider to listen to their advice, which one that you think is the most possible for you to run in your industry. Because for us, it's really customizations. We do all the customizations work.
I can see Nick facial expression that he has something to say.
I mean, every company, we have different problems. When you say that, right, it's like everyone walking into IKEA, when you look at their showroom, you feel like, oh, this one suits me, that one suits me, this one will sit so perfectly fit at my place, right? But the reality is no. As we mentioned, You're doing everything. Yeah, you're just doing everything. Find the pain point. Find your company pain point. Okay, what gives you headache? What really gives you the pain that you can't tolerate? Like every time when you're having meeting or every time when your boss is asking for something, you just go and search. That's the pain point. That's the pain point. If you do not know, if you really do not know, uh, one way we do this in our company is because we have many different divisions, right? We treat them as individual entity, okay, and all of them are having different problems. We just sit down with them, all right, we review the whole process. First thing is we see what can we change or improve without implementing new technology, all right, that's internal process, all right, and then we list out what can we speed up or how can technology help with those things, because everyone is different. Every division, every companies, they are different. You need to know your process very well. Okay. Of course, if you really do not know how to start, there are a lot of what we call process engineers or process consultants, right? Out there that they can enhance the flow of the process. That's very important. Yeah.
Okay. One of the options that I think that personally I can recommend is that under the Smart Forward initiative, as I mentioned, Smart Forward is a collaborative initiative that we wanted to bridge the gap to embark into the smart manufacturing journey. The SMEs can actually go into the smartforward.mind, the web knowledge portal, whereby over there, the content, we update the content over there in terms of how do I start my smart manufacturing journey? Why is it relevant to us? And then there are also quite a number of the case studies that you can actually go through, whether it's video, whether it's article, that you wanted to actually look into it and see what other people has been doing, how has it benefit their business. Okay. And in the Smart Forward initiative, we're working very closely with the MPC in terms of giving as many support as possible through the readiness assessment, working with MITI to get you some funding. Right now, we even included one of the our industry 4.0 drivers, which is a P2P financing. A lot of companies says, yeah, I want to embark in it, but I do not have the enough cash flow to do it. So there's funding. Then there are solution provider inside there that they won't actually sell a solution for you that they actually having, meaning that a lot of companies, when they come to you, I sell ERP. So I go to you, I promote ERP, I don't promote anything else. But ERP might not be the things that you want. So the intention of the Smart Forward is that we have actually gotten several critical area of the Industry 4.0, get them together. When they go out, they will be able to first understand your business, first understand your pain points, what are your requirements. Then within these solution providers, they will actually recommend which are the best solutions for you, and they will actually going to approach you to give you possible solutions. So that's the great things over there. So that's why that SHRDC is also there in terms of providing training and so forth. And let's say, for example, your business, you do not know how to transform and so forth, BizSphere is there to help you. So these are the things that we are trying to minimize the gap. Now, there's a question over here from the participants. Now, please, for all the other participants, if you have any questions at all, please put it down into the chat room so that we can actually highlight and discuss over here. Now, this question over here is that from Chris Lim, can you share a bit more on how AI works? Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot answer. Maybe Alvin, you can share a bit how AI works and whether it's relevant for us or not. I do not know.
I can, but it's okay. I'll keep a simple layman term. AI is is just artificial intelligence to simplify your work. I think the thing that Chris that is asking, the first question is, what do you need to simplify or what do you need to automate? Then we talk about the area of AI, because AI is very, very broad. To put it simply, it's probably a type of software or a type of machine or robotics to make your life easier. Yeah. If I were to refer to DU Fiber's AI, then maybe Nick or Miss Chen can highlight, because they have a AI machine. They did mention something about that. So I'm not sure if Chris is referring to what DU Fiber is doing, because AI is a very, very broad topic. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Nick or Miss Chen, you want to talk about your AI filtering
DU AI
system? Yeah. What does it do? It sounds very Changi to me.
Do you want to go? I'll go then, because I'm more technical on the machine side. Right. So
Miss Chen?
Oh, no, Nick wants to go, I think.
Yeah.
Nick, okay.
Yep. All right, cool. So artificial intelligence, it's all about machine learning in short. So people always think AI like robot or like very chunky thing. Actually, no lah. Actually, it's just something how you let your machine to learn. Okay, we all know machine are not human, right? So how do they learn? They learn by you feed them a lot of data. Okay, one very practical example, how do you use AI? Okay, we do recycling. Okay, for example, this. We have 3 colors, right? Okay, so we teach the machine how to differentiate those 3 colors. Those are the first stage. But then you'll be seeing on the blue, there's a black here, right? Then the machine would like sort of confuse, okay, is this black or blue? All right, this is black or blue. Then we have to tell them, all right, this black, how many percent on a blue you determine it as blue or black. All right, all those, the more they work, the faster they learn, and then the more data you feed into the machine, the more accurate output or outcome it can produce. This is one form of AI, and I believe the fundamental of AI works like this: machine learning. Does that answer your question, Chris?
Yeah, I believe so, because Chris actually mentioned that he is referring to the AI
DU.
that DU have. Yeah. I think that explains very well. And I have another question over here from Miss Lim. Miss Lim says, most SME know how to do business, but lack of the knowledge of how the technology works. Okay, if the existing service provider unable to fulfill the expectation, can they shift to new service provider? Okay, for me, definitely if you are not satisfied with your service provider and they cannot do the work, I'm sure that you should actually change your service provider. If not, why are you going to continue? It makes your process even worse. Okay, if you continue with it. But maybe I would suspect that you are referring to the if you are referring to the MITI Industry Forward Intervention Fund, that you have already engaged the service provider, but the service provider is not performing as what you expect to be, and you would like to actually change the service provider. Yes, what you can do is that you need to actually write a letter to MIDA to justify why do you need to change your service provider. But that is only half of the story, because if MIDA already approved you the grant, okay, they expect you to complete the project as what you have submitted. So if you do not want to use this existing service provider, then you should actually recommend a new service provider who can actually do the same thing or similar things, complete the task with the cost same or lesser than it. Then I don't see any reason why MIDA should reject your application or your request to change your service provider. do actually talk to me after this. Maybe what we can do is that we can help you to highlight it to Maida if need be. If not, if you need to have a recommendation or what to do, who to do, and so forth, then maybe we can give you the advice on it as well. Okay, so that would be that. Ms. Lim also asked, to implement distribution manufacturing shop floor ERP module, how much is the budget needed? Wow, sorry, this I cannot answer. Maybe Alvin, you know more.
It's it's difficult to say because I need to know what type of manufacturing and what is it's hard to give you a number, and I dare not, because different facilities and different requirements in the shop floor, it varies. But I think what I can say to answer the previous question also, and maybe this is in line, is just to be clear, although Ms. Cheng and Nick is in front here and we can say we are friends now, when they picked me as a vendor, it was not easy journey, okay? For example, they had 10 process flow. They would pick one flow and test me Cao first. All right, Alvin, can you do the job? And that was the reality. So to previous question and the shop floor one, to find a vendor, to know the cost, to know the budget, each vendor will have a different type of costing because each will use a different technology. For example, SmartBee focuses a lot on cloud, so we don't do local or on-prem data collection. We only, it must have internet. Then that will change the ball game a lot already. And for example, DU Fiber uses a lot of mobile phone. They don't even buy hardware from me, so that will save them a lot of cost. So by that, actually, your cost saving is huge. So it's very difficult to give you a number. But the truth is, when you meet a vendor and the vendor is very confident they can deliver, feel free to ask them to start small, as Nick and Ms. Cheng have said. Because I was really tested, right? They were like, oh, cannot. Then they're like, okay, you show me. Then when they were happy with the first small project, then I got more. And that was how it was. That was how it was. And of course, quite happy that they're very happy. And that's why we are still here.
Yeah. I will ask whether happy or not happy later or not on the. Okay, now it's right now 5 minutes to 5 already. I need to ask you, Alvin, now. There are quite a number of the SMEs over here and the manufacturers over here. Okay, if let's say, for example, if they wanted to embark into the journey of the Industry 4.0 or smart manufacturing, whichever stage they are in right now, what would be the services that you can actually offer to them to help them, and when should they actually call you up to request for your support? At least that they know what can you do to help them. Yeah.
Okay, so I think the first thing to do is, and it's not being marketing, but the truth is to inform me as soon as possible. The first thing I will do is I need to understand your requirements. As Ms. Cheng said, as soon as I understand your requirement, if I can do the job, I'll be more than happy to offer the service. If not, then the Smart Forward team, but that's separate. Okay. So what do I offer? As you all know, my biggest offering is goods tracking and inventory on cloud. Something else that I also offer, but not many Malaysians take up, is I offer cost analysis investigation for manufacturing. So that's more of a consulting where you really want to understand your manufacturing costs. As Mr. Kengtek said earlier, I'm actually a qualified accountant for manufacturing accounting. But this is, a lot of people are still looking for data collection first. So data collection is one of our biggest products. So we customize the dashboard at a very affordable cost for you to go paperless. That is my biggest offering. So, yeah.
Okay. You might want to share your contact over there. Maybe my team can share the contacts over in the chat box.
Yeah.
Now, last question for the 3 panelists over here. Last question. What would be the 3 advice which you would give to the fellow SME should they wanted to embark into Industry 4. Only 3 simple short one, 3 things that you must do. We start with Nick first, then followed by Miss Chen, then Alvin at the end. Yeah, Nick, 3 things only. 3 very important things that you must do when you want to start your journey. Oh, Alvin need to think.
I also need to think, okay, Industry 4.0, right? Really sit down with the decision maker and then ask them if they still want to be in the market in the coming 10 years or 20 years. Okay, to be honest, if you don't transform now, sorry, you will slowly get diluted. Okay, this is very true. Okay, second advice, if they wanted to embark into Industry 4.0, do you want to hire more youngsters? Okay, if you want to hire more youngsters, when they come in and then when they see the company is still using the old way to operate, normally they either don't come in or they come in and stay for weeks or months, then they out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Very practical, okay. And then
Yes, very practical. Good advice.
The third advice, if they wanted to embark into Industry 4.0, okay, if you want your business to be known, it's sort of related to the first point. If you want your business to be known, you need data support, because nowadays with the very easy access to big data, all right, if say your potential customer or your potential supplier, when they do a search on you and they just can't find your relevant data on the net or on some special platform, or for say even e-commerce website or Alibaba website, they just skip you, right? Because there are a lot of other competitors that they show their data, all right, they show their output, which your customers or supplier, they will boost their confidence because, oh, this one is actually quite bothered, they have the data all on. So if you want to be in this group, you should embark into Industry 4.0. Okay, that's a 3 points from me. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Nick. Miss Chen?
Okay, the 3 advice from me is find the correct person internally and also the correct service provider. And the last one will be you need to really insist on what you are doing, because this journey is really not easy.
Need to be persistent.
Yes, need to be persistent.
Okay. Alvin, last one, most difficult task.
Most difficult one, yeah. How do I? Yeah, a lot of them covered already. So I guess back to
short one, 3 points.
One,
yeah.
Make a decision that you want to grow, and don't implement the system because you want to implement the system, but implement the system to complement your business plan and goals. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep it to that because the rest were covered already. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Chen, and also Nick Lim from DU Fiber. A very, very insightful sharing. I believe that the participants over here right now would have more confidence and also would know somehow what to do, what to prepare if they wanted to start their journey. And of course, thank you very much, Alvin, sharing some of the best practices, what you need to think of in terms of the data. And I believe that some of the participants would contact you if they need any help. Now, before we end the session, a few things that, again, that I want to highlight. remind everyone. Number one is that I mentioned this in the earlier before we started the session, is that number one, our web forum is every 2 weeks. Thursday afternoon, similar time. Next session, we would have the monitor ERP. They would be actually talking about industry 4 as well. Maybe my colleagues can actually show up what will be the topic. That would be great. So monitor ERP will be talking together with the sharing their insights on the industry 4, more towards on the ERP aspect together with their client. So basically, they will be focusing on taking control of your OE and OLE. Sorry, I do not know what is OLE. So if you do not know what is OLE, then basically go and Google, or next 2 weeks, come and join us again. So the highlights will be how is ERP related to OE and OLE, and the challenges faced and tools to improve your OE and OLE, and how to improve your shop floor transparency and employee engagement. So these will be the key things that will be discussed. The next session will be on the Thursday, 17th of March, 2022, 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. We will be sending out our invites to everyone as well. So that will be the first thing that I want to highlight. The second thing would be the roadshow by MITI. Okay, roadshow by MITI. Over here, MITI is actually going all out to support the SMEs. If you have not embarked into the Industry 4.0, MITI will tell you in terms of the industry forward policy, the readiness assessment program, assessment criteria, and also the funding opportunities. Then for all the companies who have already embarked into the Industry 4.0, even though that you have the readiness assessment done or you have the readiness assessment report, then there will be a one-to-one coaching session as well. Meaning that, oh yeah, I have been assessed by the assessor body. So what next? So you might want to talk to the MIDA in terms of how can I best apply for the intervention fund. You might want to talk to some of the solution provider in terms of whether the solution is relevant to my company or not. This is my report, whether you can actually help us or not. Or my team might need some kind of the upskilling and reskilling. So maybe is there any training that is offering or not? So these are the things that will be offered during the one-to-one coaching session. So the next stop will be on the 8th March. Okay, I myself will be there. I will be happy to meet you all over there as well. 9 a.m. at the Kedah Industrial Skills and Management Development Center, which is KISMAC. Sungai Petani. KISMAC got two different locations. This is in Sungai Petani, Kedah. Okay, so I hope to see all of you over there. Now, in terms of the Smart Forward, again, before I end the session, I cannot end it without just recapping what Smart Forward actually do. So Smart Forward is still very much a collaborative initiative. It is actually established with the intention or with the objective to bridge the gap of the SME adopting Industry 4.0, because we see that SME needs the solution provider, SME need the government assistance, SME need the knowledge, SME need to know the trend and what are the best practices, and SME would need to learn from their fellow industry players as well. So that's why Smart Forward is established. And right now we are getting more and more companies to come into this Smart Forward, so that we can actually together, we can actually share more experience, so that to ease your journey into the smart manufacturing. So do remember that, please log on to the smartforward.mind to get more information. If you need any consultation at any time, so you can just go to Smart Forward, you click on the consultation site, and my team or some of the solution provider, depending on what you request it to be, will be there to actually reply you and try to address your concern. Because quite a number of the companies, they do not know what they want, and I have actually see that some of the solution provider is actually going up over there to meet them and to see what do they need and so forth. So this is the key critical things that we want to do. We want the companies to come in not to sell solution, but we want the companies to come in to offer their consultation on what is more important to you. So with that, thank you very much. I would like to thank everyone for your participation and your attention. We would see you all again in the next 2 weeks on the 17th of March. So with that, stay safe. Okay, there's still a lot of virus out there. Okay, if you're working, wear mask, and we will see you the next 2 weeks. And please help us. I will need you all to fill in the feedback form. It's very, very important for us to improve how we do things over here. With your feedback, it is actually helping us to help you. So please put in your comments in the feedback form, positive or negative. We welcome all your feedback. With that, I can take from the BSphere Brand and Marketing Group, as well as the champion for the Smart Forward. So with that, thank you very much and goodbye. Thank you. And the session would actually close in 1 minute time. Thank you very much. So whoever want to have a chit chat, so let's chit chat over here, and we will see each other next 2 weeks. Thank you very much.